The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Medow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Good day to you. I'm Angelique Medow, founder of Will You, an inspirational multimedia company that provides education and mentoring to nurture empowerment and joy. If you'd like to learn more about the company, explore willyougrow.com. The Will You Grow Show was created as a way for us to share soulful insights and connect with you. We gracefully tackle touchy subjects that tickle your tempestuous thought, fan the eternal embers of your heart, and salve your soul with hope. We start each show with live readings of various topics, followed by listener comments and questions alongside meaningful and fun options for you to consider implementing in your daily life. And today's topic is stress and how stress can block your intuition. All right. Well, welcome in. This show is brought to you by life and nature. They make our hearts beat, our lungs breathe, and the world turn. So let us give thanks. Today's crystals and gemstones are brought to you by Stones of Spirit. Wardrobe and accessories are brought to you by The Magic Closet, because life is your stage. What are you wearing? Okay, let's talk about stress and how stress can block your intuition. Well, we have all felt stress, haven't we? And this last year has given us plenty of opportunity to explore the depths of what stress can do to us. When we feel stress, we spin with emotions like excitement, anxiety, and turmoil, and it's hard to experience anything else. If we're angry, we may not notice that it's a beautiful day outside. If we're worried and someone says, "I love you," we might think to ourselves, "Well, thanks," but we might be too distracted to really even notice or receive that beautiful compliment. And if we're excited or desirous of something, we might be so focused on getting what we want that we tune out the people who try to talk sense to us. Same goes for intuition. Although it may be speaking to us regularly through signs, symbols, nature, thoughts, feelings, etc., we may be so caught up in our stressful thoughts and feelings that we are unable to get the message. In today's article, we're going to take a closer look at stress and ways we can free ourselves so we can receive intuitive guidance. Sound good? I think so. Stress is like static. Like the sound of static while trying to tune into a radio, stress is the static that blocks our ability to clearly receive intuitive messages. When we allow thoughts of worry or fear to inundate our mind, and feelings of inadequacy or doubt to fill our bodies, we say to intuition, "I got this. I'm doing everything I can. I'm working on this situation by stressing. I don't need your help. I'm busy." Whether this is conscious or unconscious, it doesn't matter, because this is what we emanate. Meanwhile, although we might have blocked our ability to receive intuition, it continues to provide us information, should we choose to relax and receive. So what is stress? It's a word we use all the time, but what is it really? Stress is when we believe that something should be different than it is. Take that in. Stress is when we believe that something should be different than it is. Stress happens when we believe that we should be farther ahead, that we should be going faster or slower, that someone or we should be behaving differently than they or we are, or that something shouldn't be happening. We are stressed when we are not accepting ourselves others, or life as it is. Just as it is. Acceptance and the power of acceptance. When we completely accept ourselves, others, and life, we will seldom be stressed, except for dire circumstances like natural disaster. Acceptance doesn't mean that we become complacent or lazy. It doesn't mean that we stop growing or making ourselves and life more beautiful. It does, however, mean that we can choose to kindly accept ourselves, others, and life just as we are right now. We can also continue to transform. No need for harsh critical words to ourselves or to others in order for us to grow. When we accept that what we are doing on each step of the way is doing our best, that is more than enough. And with the power of that, let us ring that into ourselves. When we're doing our best, it's more than enough. So, are we ready to reduce stress and receive more guidance? Are we? Let's take a look. If we're ready to let go of stress and start receiving more intuitive guidance, we can begin by taking 3 steps. Step 1, learn to relax. Yes, relaxing is a choice and it can be learned. Easier said than done if we're judging that we're not enough. Although stress may creep into our lives, a life lived without regular regard and support for the choice to relax and to experience life without stress can lead to major health problems, unfulfilled dreams, misery, and escapism through addictive behaviors. Instead of stressing ourselves out, we can relax. But how? We can say this mantra every day, as often as we can remember. Are you ready? I'll say it for you, and then say it to yourself. I willingly release the need to hold stress in this body. Are you ready? I willingly release the need to hold stress in this body. Now, did you notice? What did you feel? What did you feel when you said that? As you had waited for a minute to feel what happens, often an area of the body will release. It will relax where it was previously holding stress and feeling tight. Sometimes we don't realize that we're holding stress, and we learn more about ourselves and our bodies as we continue saying this mantra as often as possible, enjoying the results. After a while, we may even be able to stop stress as we begin to feel the stress and tension as it begins to build up in the body, instead of waiting until it sends us to the chiropractor. This allows us to release the stress before it takes over and creates a crisis. Step number 2. Choose to trust life and ourselves. Seriously, it got us this far. Why worry? It doesn't fix anything. It just gives us a false sense of control. Take that in. Worry gives us a false sense of control, that we can actually do something about what we're worrying about by worrying. It makes us feel bad and it blocks our ability to receive intuitive guidance. Those are reasons enough to choose trust over worry. Step 3. Be grateful for life and ourselves. Gratitude cures many maladies, including stress. There's no time to focus on worry, doubt, hurt, or anger when we're being grateful. And there's oh so much to be grateful for. It can be helpful and inspiring to make a list. We might include things like breath, air, food, water, heat, breezes, beauty, health, or the ability to love, learn, read, and etc. We can also restart fresh every morning before getting up and every night before sleep by naming at least 5 things we're grateful for. The way I remind myself to do that when I first got started was to put a little stick-it note right next to my lamp that said, "The 5 things I'm grateful for today are," and then I'd list them. And here's a bonus. By being internally grateful, we also radiate gratitude onto everyone and everything in our world. As we begin to receive more intuitive messages and then courageously act on them, we will also become beacons to others for stressless, intuitive living. Nice bonus. Next are some additional ways to help clear out your physical, emotional, and spiritual being to release stress and receive intuitive guidance. Step 4, eat healthfully. We can choose one way, any of us, just one way that we can do better and start today. Think about what that is and do it. Step 5, sleep enough and well. Enough and well. We can give ourselves the gift of learning what makes our body work best and do that because it's different for everybody. Step 6, exercise in ways that we enjoy. Do not bring dread into your exercise routine. If you can't do it with joy, don't do it. Find a way to be enjoyable about it, or find a way to exercise that's something that you like to do. And it is possible. Step 7, do a cleanse, a detox, or get clean. Yeah, I know it's a lot to think about, but we've got Google now so you can research how to do it and get yourself going. Step 8, commune with nature and touch the earth. Mother Nature has huge healing capacity. Are we taking advantage of it? Or is our rumpicus on the couch? It's not helping. The television can't exercise or solve our problems for us. However, nature has beautiful enzymes and biomes and all kinds of wonder to experience out there, so we just need to get out and do it. As you do get out in nature, something to think about is notice the nature that comes to you. What comes to your awareness? There might be animals who are playing in front of you. What kind of animals are they? Do you know that the Native Americans have a metaphysical type of understanding of the way that our animals communicate with us? They might be teaching you messages that you just may not know how to receive. For example, today's animal that can communicate with us and help us to work through stress is the deer. We're wearing a deer here, and a deer is right over here. I wanted to share with you what the animal spirit of a deer represents to us. The deer is telling us to move gently into new areas, like living a life with less stress. Follow the lure to new studies about less stress. Begin practical pursuits that bring surprising rewards, like living a life that's guided by inspiration and nature rather than stress. So let us ring in the idea of living a stress-less life and listening to what nature has to tell us. Step number 9. Allow quiet time once or more daily to focus on breath and awareness, meditation, and prayer. That's the topic we'll be speaking about in future episodes. Step 10. Do what is best. Why? Why not just kind of haphazardly go through life doing sort of kind of what we can do? Why? Because when we do our best, we get to live without regret. And how much is that worth when we can lay our head on the pillow at night and not regret our behavior, have no shame? Wow, it's almost unfathomable if we're living with that now, keeping us awake and making us turn and toss and think awful thoughts and have nightmares. So do your best. It brings less stress and you won't regret it. So, something to consider. Do we believe that we are worthy to live without stress? Could we be punishing ourselves by burning the candle at both ends? The more we can forgive ourselves for the past, the more worthy we will be to allow ourselves to receive intuitive guidance. Said differently, we will be ready to receive guidance when we believe we deserve it. If we've done things that we know were wrong, judged ourselves, and now believe that we aren't worthy to be guided, we can learn to forgive ourselves. And that's going to be one of our next topics. So stay tuned in the following episodes. What say ye about this topic? What do you have to say about stress in your life and ways that you deal with it? Please share your thoughts and feelings in the comments section so we may grow in strength and willpower together. And now, time for questions and answers from our audience. How exciting. Do some questions and answers, and then one final tip about crystals that could be helpful for you in your stress-less journey. All right, questions. Why are we so stressed all the time? Says Tom. Well, you're not going to like this answer, but it's because we choose to be. We could choose to experience less stress, and most of us can think of at least one way that our life could be less stressful. The question is, are we choosing a more peaceful way? Or do we get something out of all that stress that we put ourselves through? How do we feel about how busy we are? Does it make us feel needed, successful, important? I'm so busy. I'm so stressed. Oh. I'm doing so much. Look at how busy I am. I'm really important. All right, I'm playing with you now, but I think you get my picture. If we get something out of how stressed we are and how stressed we tell people we are, then, part of us is getting something out of that. When we do things often, like be stressed, they become a habit. When we grow up in stress-filled households, we become stress-filled and it becomes our norm. Since our bodies are not meant to live in chronic stress, after a while, they begin to break down, and we may develop things like adrenal fatigue, thyroid and hormone irregularities, high blood pressure, and a host of other maladies. No matter how much stress that we may have experienced in the past, it is possible to change our perspective and experience a more peaceful life. Please don't wait until you have a heart attack. Do something about it today. What can you do to reduce stress in your life today? Next question. What is the quickest way to release stress? Says Andy. I think this is funny because it is different for everyone. But for most of my clients, adding more healthy joy to their life can automatically reduce stress. Joy and playfulness provide balance to our system and we become more receptive. So what brings you joy that you haven't done in a while? Is it playing volleyball? Is it going outside and skipping rocks on the water? Go do that thing, even for just 5 minutes. It does matter. And if you want another quick tip that you can use, if you like crystals and you believe that that's something that could be helpful for your system, there are a couple of crystals that you can implement into your daily life that can support your healing and reduction of stress. The first one here that we will read about is citrine. The citrine I have here is a citrine necklace, which is one of mine. It's right here. It's one of my favorites. It's a yellow golden color. It's a variety of quartz. The color is due to heat from volcanic and other earthly activity. So if citrine can hold up and stand up to a volcano and the heat that goes with that, it can certainly help you with whatever heat stress is going on in your life. The common sources of citrine are Brazil. The astrological associations are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra. And the chakra that it is associated with is solar plexus. That's located here. It helps with good decision making, learning, teaching, studying, creativity, awareness, writing, problem solving, and new beginnings. It's also a feel better stone. It's good for the digestive system, so if stress problems go right to your gut, citrine can help. It's also good for eyesight, the heart, kidneys, thyroid, thymus, and liver. It helps with tissue regeneration, anemia, jaundice, nausea, vomiting, and detoxing. Emotionally and spiritually, it's good for relationships, self-esteem, aura work, and getting rid of emotional toxins. It also helps with anger and the yin-yang balance. So that's the help that you can get from citrine. Another one that I use, and I used when I worked through my inner child work, which any of you who've gone through that know can be very stressful, is Carnelian. That's also helpful with PTSD and childhood PTSD, which are no joke. They can affect your life and pretty much stop you in your tracks. So Carnelian, which looks like this, and this one has a bit of a tiger look right in the middle and a couple of spots that look like eyes. It comes in orange, red, pink, and brown pebbles. It comes from Uruguay, Brazil, and India. The astrological associations are Taurus, Cancer, and Leo. The chakra is the sacral chakra. That's the base chakra. The healing qualities, it is a feel-better stone. It helps with study, memory, inspiration, speech, and the voice. And it's good for live performers. It can relieve laziness and apathy for those of you who need a little boost. And it brings vitality, self-esteem, compassion, courage, and personal power. It's also good for digestion, tissue regeneration, and revitalization of the blood, emotionally and spiritually. It enhances your connection to spirit and enables you to see the links between disease and emotions so that you can deal with the emotions and prevent disease. It also helps with anger, fear, rage, sorrow, confusion, and other maladies. So we have lots of tips and tools today that we've presented that can help you with stress and allow you to receive more intuitive guidance. I hope that you've found this helpful. Please like, subscribe, and share if this content is helpful and inspirational to you. I'm so thankful you came today. And I wish you all the best in this upcoming week. Join us next Sunday at 9 a.m. for our next episode. And until then, I send you always love from Angelique.
For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6.